So pure OCD is basically a form of OCD without the physical compulsions like flicking on lights and washing your hands excessively. And it's arguably a lot worse to deal with because it's all in your brain and you're stuck with your brain in your head. Some of the thoughts that you might be obsessing over are dark, violent, inappropriate, morally wrong, and this is where it becomes a problem. Now, the way I see it is our brains are exposed to so much and take so much in that they're automatically going to make links between what we're doing and a memory of something we've seen. For example, you might be cutting a cucumber up, and then someone you love is in the room with you, and you have an image or a thought of you stabbing said loved one to death. Now, most normal people without OCD and pure O would kind of let that go and go, oh, that's crazy, but I'd never do that. But someone who worries excessively will go, why did I have that thought? What did that mean? Am I going to kill someone? Like, is this what people do when they're going crazy? You might then watch someone on the news who's been arrested for murdering their entire family and think, Jesus Christ, like, did that all start with a thought? Like, how do I know I wouldn't do that? Do I want to do that? Do I want to kill the people I love? Like, what the fuck? And everyone has these thoughts. Everyone, like, especially if you're stressed. Like, for me, mine gets a lot worse if I'm stressed or tired. Like, I might be having a terrible day at work and then I get on public transport and there's too many people and I don't want to be looked at. All that stress and tension and aggravation, anxiety is built up, and then I start having images of me screaming or, losing my mind, and I think, well, I feel really close that I could do this. How do I know I'm not going to flip out and start punching people who have done nothing wrong? Like, what the fuck, man? And it can become a real problem like it has for me. I've had this for years, and you would think that after years of this, thousands of these thoughts, I would kind of be reassured that I've never acted on them, I never will. But the thought's always there. How do I know it's still not going to happen? I haven't lived my whole life yet. How do I know I'm not going to get to 60 and just suddenly snap then? And to a lot of people without OCD, it will sound ridiculous, like, why are you wasting your time worrying about that? And it becomes an inactive choice that these thoughts start coming up, and the more importance you place on them, and guess what? For anyone who has these thoughts, you're not gonna do them. But that's not enough. Like, you seek reassurance, you want to know, yeah, I know I won't do it, I need to know for sure though. And these thoughts will be the worst things for you. Like, if you really love your dog, you might have images of you strangling your dog. When you look at your dog, you might just see an action. Like, where is that coming from? Like, I would never do that. Would I ever do that? No, of course I wouldn't. How do you know you'll never do it? You have full control. Here's the thing, people who actually do these horrible things don't have a conscience. They wouldn't worry about it. They would go, you know what, I might not kill my dog because I'll get found out, but I'm going to go out into the woods and strangle a bird to death. Like, people, sociopaths exist, and they do this because they enjoy it. There are many sociopaths disguised amongst our society as just normal people. Yeah, I just hunt animals. I just, ride my horse and go fox hunting. It's normal somewhat, isn't it? No, it's pretty fucking sick in the head, mate. The fact that you're so repulsed by these thoughts if you have them is a sign that you'll never act on them. Because people don't just go, oh shit, I flipped. Like, unless you have some severe disorder like schizophrenia or manic depression like mania, psychosis, where you do lose any feeling of reality and you don't feel like you're in control of yourself at all, and then you wake up and you go, what did I killed someone? I can't believe, like, you would know if you had that. You'd probably be in psychiatric care by now, but most likely you've had these thoughts for years and it is just OCD. And so how do you beat it is the big question, right? There is no external fix. There are medications that you can try. I personally wouldn't be interested, but this is something that can be lifelong. There are people who are anxious, do overthink, and do have tendencies for OCD and obsessions and compulsions. The compulsion with Puro, like I say, there's nothing physically external to yourself, but you might ask for reassurance, or you might reassure yourself. You might talk back to the thoughts like, no, I wouldn't do that. No, I wouldn't. No, that doesn't help. It just leads to more anxiety, or leads to more anxiety. You feel like you do have to justify yourself, like you're on trial, like, no, I definitely wouldn't do it. You haven't done anything. You've not done anything to anyone. I mean, I'm guessing, but I know I haven't. Why am I having these fucking stupid thoughts? Why am I wasting my life worrying about stuff I will never do? I don't want to get to however old and think back to all the years combined where I wasted feeling terrible, having low self-esteem because I thought I was a bad person for stuff that were just thoughts. Just thoughts that you can't control, and if you could get rid of them, you know you would. And that's the difference between you and a psycho killer, rapist, whatever, that you're worried that you could be. We all have the potential to be anything. Was Hitler, when he was born as a baby, destined to be a cunt? No, I'm sure he wasn't. There's been a philosophical question asked before, would it be moral to kill baby Hitler? No, the baby's done nothing wrong at that point. So if you're, in your 20s and your 30s, whatever age you are, and you haven't done anything yet, that's pretty good record, man. You don't have to justify yourself to yourself. You don't have to talk back to the thoughts. You have to live with the uncertainty. Well, what if these thoughts do mean something? Oh no. You need to turn it into a joke, because when you take it so seriously, like you are on trial, like, I swear I wouldn't do it, please believe me, it does create more of it through the anxiety. And you might look for reassurance. Someone might say, no, you're a good person, you wouldn't do it. I've had these thoughts sometimes. You go, oh, thank God. But then another few days pass, you have the self-doubt, the uncertainty. I need someone else's reassurance that I'm not going crazy, that I'm normal, that these thoughts are okay. And I'm giving you that this final time. You don't need it from someone else. If you want, watch the video again. There are other videos like this. The way you beat OCD and obsessions is by letting them be there, not adding to it. There's a difference between being able to stop it, which you can't, and not adding to it. So the thoughts are going to come up out of habit at this point. You might look at your mum, who you love and has done everything for you, and have images of you stabbing her to death, which is fucked, right? You might be near a knife and you feel like, oh no, because there's a knife there, how do I know I won't do it? I need to leave the room. This is what happens. People close themselves off, and it's ridiculous. If you wanted to stab your mum, if you were going to stab your mum, there's your opportunity. But the idea is so repulsive to you that you're obsessing over it, okay? So to get over Puro, allow those thoughts to be there and be like, doesn't fucking mean anything. It really doesn't fucking mean anything. I have nothing to prove. I've done nothing. These thoughts. But then, again, you're getting close to justifying yourself that, oh no, come on, I don't need to worry. This is nothing to worry about. It's more of a case if the thoughts come up, you go, oh, there's a thought. Just noticed it. Like during meditation, that's a thought. Just like a thought of me shitting myself. Just like a thought of me dreaming that I'm a bird. All meaningless. All just thoughts. All not reflective of you as a person. Your actions reflect who you are, your behaviours, the choices you make. And you're making the choice not to be a bad person. And again, one last time, one last little bit of reassurance for anyone who needs it. People who go on to kill, there might be a few cases where people just lose it and they do get confused. A very small minority of people that aren't murderers become murderers. But in nearly all cases, they plan to do it, they want to do it, they enjoy doing it, and you have the opposite experience. So I hope this helped. Give it a like if it did. Peace.